Yo, what's going on guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Time Thief deck profile. So the only thing I have to say before we start is like, comment, and subscribe if you want more videos like these. And yeah, that's pretty much it, so let's just jump right into it. So as you can see, I'm almost maxing out on the amount of Time Thief monsters I can actually play. The only monsters that aren't 3-ofs are Basil Ship and Chrono Quarter, because they don't necessarily get you anything started on their own, but they are still like pretty good cards. Although if you don't draw any other extenders along with them, they're just bricks, because as I just said, they don't really generate you any advantage single-handedly, whereas Regulator is your one-card combo and Winder is like a Stratos. It's like an extremely good card, and in conjunction with like anything else, it can actually make like pretty respectable boards. So definitely the correct ratios in my opinion. Chrono Quarter and Basil Ship, they almost serve like the exact same utility. I feel like they kind of just rely on your Xyz monster, and then once you get going, you just have like constant recursion, and this is the point where you just can't lose anymore. So moving on, for the extenders, I play 3 copies of Dinotherium. This is like the one that has like the least amount of restrictions, I want to say, because Medolce, was it Pitting Scissor? I forgot. That one, the Medolce monster, you have to control no monsters in your grave, so it definitely does clash with the hand shops in case you're going second. And also there was Photon Thrasher, but that one clashes with Regulator because you can only summon Photon Thrasher, like, I mean, you have to summon Thrasher preemptively and then go Regulator and then realize, uh-oh, Regulator can't trigger because I already have a monster on the field. That's kind of bad. So that's very unfortunate, but yeah, you can't do much about it except play other kind of extenders. So I felt like Dinotherium and Shade Brigandine were kind of probably like the best ones in a way. But yeah, it's just, maybe it's just my thought. Like, probably Photon Thrasher could honestly be a 1-of at this point, and then play, you know, 1 Goblinberg and then play Reinforcement of the Army, so definitely do keep that in mind, because it's honestly not that bad. I definitely did consider Thrasher, and I was playing it for like the longest time. It's just, I was always drawing it with like weird cards, and also if you draw multiple Thrashers, it does nothing, whereas if you draw like multiple Goblinbergs, you know, it still makes, you know, a rank 4, so it's not that bad. But anyways, Goblinberg, I already kind of explained it in a way. It's just, yeah, it's kind of like more of a filler card. If there were like better rank 4 extenders, I definitely would be playing them instead. I don't feel like Mothman is any good, especially when you're playing Pot of Extravagance. So no, Dangers definitely clash with this strategy. And also Mothman is RNG, whereas Snake, the best one, is level 3, which doesn't do anything here, so unfortunate. Then of course for the Perform H cards, I don't play Damage Juggler because you don't have a lot of cards to send anything from like the deck to the grave, so Damage Juggler itself isn't good, but the cards that you're trying to search with them, so one with like Hat Tricker and Trick Clown, these are like amazing. And you play Foolish Burial because even if you draw the Trick Clown and you can't Foolish that, you can still Foolish Basil Ship and Chrono Quarter, and these ones are like very good extenders. If anything, maybe I should be playing even more copies of Hat Tricker because it really is that good. I mean, as long as you control 2 or more, no, not even, as long as 2 or more monsters are on the field, so going second, it's amazing. And also, even if you draw multiple Hat Trickers, you can just vomit them from your hand because it is not once per turn, and also it is an inherent summon, not an activation, so you can definitely do some really cool things with that. Then for the hand shops, I definitely play the 3 Ash, which is the obvious one. It's the most splashable, the most generic in a way, but these ones, they're a bit more like personal preference. So DD Crow, I guess it's really good against most control decks, a bit less good against combo, but still good against like Mermails and Dinosaurs. Obviously does nothing against Adamancia because they barely use the graveyard, but pretty good against Eldritch, for example. And then you have Veiler, which could've, and some people probably would state should've, been Infinite. But the reason why I can't play Infinite is because Infinite unfortunately clashes way too hard with Shade, which is like the best level 4 extender in this deck. It's even better than Dinotherium, and it also clashes with Treacherous, which is a very important card because Rafflesia is one of the best generic rank 4s out there. So no, I unfortunately can't play Infinite, but Veiler almost has the same effect. It's just Veiler can get called by the grave, and also you can draw Veiler for turn going second, and that feels like kind of bad. Whereas if you draw Infinite for turn, you can already use it to like negate a VFD, for example, which is very important. So obviously this is the kind of thing that you have to like keep in mind when you're deck building. You can't just deck build for power and for like the better cards. You have to like understand and respect the weaknesses of your deck, because otherwise, if you, for example, if you didn't really care about that, you would be playing Veiler and then you would break, maybe like break on like Infinite and like Shade and Treacherous, and you would be like, oh, whatever, I got unlucky. It always happens to me. Yeah, you can kind of play around that. So yeah, 3 Extravagance, because who cares, man? You're playing a rank 4 turbo deck, and Link monsters are really horrible in this deck. Like, you really don't want to Link, and if you Link with like the revived Chrono Quarter and Basil Ship, they get banished, so you lose your recursion, and it's just like, no, you really want to make rank 4s. Like, Tornado is better than Phoenix. I mean, literally, Perpetua is like better than any Link 2 generic that I can think of, and I didn't want this deck to become another Needle Fiber annoying deck, so that's why I'm not playing Needle Fiber, because in theory, you could say Goblinberg, summon Ash or Valor, and then make Needle Fiber, but I really wanted this deck to like respect the rank 4 strategy. Alright, so moving forward, we also have Monster Reborn, which is very self-explanatory, and then Flyback, it's involved in the combo. Gravedigger's Hold, because it can actually be sent off of Rafflesia to negate hand traps, including Nibiru, so that's really, really sweet. And then 3, I mean, especially when you're playing a rank 4 deck, like, come on, this should be, like, very obvious. 3 Shade, of course, Treacherous, and 2 Retrograde, because you're playing pure Time Thief, so you do have to grind. You don't just play 1 as if you splashed an engine, you actually play 2 because you're going to search your deck a lot of times, and the deck doesn't really have, like, I mean, Time Thief, it's like a very unfinished archetype, because they really don't have a lot of Time Thief cards. Like, the spells are like horrible, unplayable, and yeah, I mean, only like these 2 traps and the monsters are good, but yeah, and the Xyz, but the spells, hell no, they're horrible. Yeah, anyways, moving forward to the extra deck, 3 Redoer, of course, 2 Tornado with Bagooska. I mean, it's extravagant, so there's like barely any explanation in there. 3 Perpetua, which is, I mean, just as good as Redoer. It's extremely good, especially in Pure. It's insane. Exciton, because it's one of the better rank 4s. Only 1 because it's only good going second. Same with Bagooska. It's like, Bagooska is like very good going second, because on an established board, you can just like inherent summon a level 4 and then normal summon a level 4, make Bagooska in defense, and then you have like 3 turns to stall. So if you can actually get some traps or something like Treacherous, you can like pop 2 cards and then they can't use their negates because they're under Bagooska. It's like borderline even more oppressive than I was gonna say Skill Drain. It's a pain to deal with, honestly, Bagooska, even going second. And going first, I mean, it's decent, but it stops you from playing, and you don't play Link monsters, so... And you can still put in an attack and then explode, so you can still do that, but yeah. And then 2 Dweller, this is also one of the better rank 4s to play. I mean, going first, it's game, and going second... Depends what deck you're playing against. Sometimes, like, decks actually lose to Dweller, and they're, like, grind decks and not even, like, combo decks, so... Against Eldritch, for example. And then, of course, 3 Rafflesia, that's just, like, obvious, so yeah. For the suggestion, like, cards, we play Thrasher because, I mean, we have Thrasher, because, you know, it's one of the cards that I said would be good, with alongside Reinforcement of the Army. Basil Ship, I don't even know why this is here. Rat, I mean, if you want to play like the Zodiac engine, but no, please don't, because Barrage is only at 1. I definitely forgot about that last time, but no, yeah, Barrage is at 1, so please don't play the Zodiac engine. World Sword, I don't even know why this is here, because I don't play Needle Fiber, but if you did play Needle Fiber, Goblinberg could summon Valor, and then you make Needle Fiber summon, like, I don't know, like another Valor, and then... Technically, you could go Link Cross and then get 2 tokens, Formula Synchron, draw 1, Martial Marcher, revive back Valor. That's already, you know, like, Link 3 worth of materials, so all you need is like 2 more monsters, kind of, and that's already almost game with Boral Sword. So, I mean, yeah, Boral Sword could be cute, but like, you would need to like cut a lot of cards, and then Extravagance would be less good, because then you start banishing like 1-ofs, and you're like, oh, I lost my options. Whereas when you play Pot of Extravagance and you play like multiple copies of everything, like, you're gooch, so, yeah. And then, yeah, whatever is here is just not really important. I already explained Infinite. Evenly doesn't make sense to play in a going first deck. Cyclone is definitely a good one. Called by the Grave is really, really good, because if Ash becomes popular, which isn't the case right now because hand traps aren't too good, you could actually use it to negate, like, I don't know, like Ash or, well, I mean, Valor, I suppose, on Regulator, even though it has to be used, like, preemptively. So if you have, like, another level 4 extender, you can still make a rank 4, but yeah, you gotta make sure that, like, this resolves, and obviously you can't really control that, so the best you can do is just play, like, enough extenders to the point where it doesn't, like, bother you every single time it happens. But yeah. anyways, that's pretty much all I had to say for this deck profile. So if you have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, once again, leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any combo videos, deck profiles, and test hand videos that I upload. I try to upload daily. Actually, I think I maintained this ever since like April 18th, so I'm doing a pretty good job, honestly. I hope so, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, so thank you very much for watching, and it is your boy Yasin signing out. Peace!